I bet you didn't know I did commission work, and especially with moss. I'm not the one actually installing the moss, but I am making a sign that is going to hold it, which is a crazy idea. So here's a little preliminary footage to kind of give you an idea of what this is. It feels like nature. Here's the process. So some context about how I got this opportunity. A local design firm, or interior decorating firm, if you will, does a lot of really large scale, kind of interesting and unique pieces around town. And they got hired to make a sign for a dentist office, if you will, a maxillofacial place. Anyway, this is going to be a pretty unique build because it's going to have dried moss kind of look like a living piece. It's not living moss anymore, but it's a synthetic moss that, or it's either a dried moss that they put in this, but they didn't have the capacity to make the sign, but I do. So through word of mouth and friends, they said, look, go talk to Chris. He can do this for you. So I did. So they hired me to make the initial skeleton. Basically what this is going to be a layered plywood sign. I'm using some of this stuff called globulus plywood from a company I've been working with these days called Garnica. Again, I'm going to put Garnica stuff all down in the description because to me, it's a Baltic birch killer, and I absolutely love it. Anyway, you're going to see me going through this process of carving this sign out. Now, I did have some blueprints to follow, but most of the time I went into Vectric and I drew this thing out piece by piece. And of course, I didn't do things properly, so I had to recut a few pieces as well. That's bound to happen, and that's okay. You always learn. So the game plan is to make a sign that has all of these different recesses. You can see this resembles a wave of some sort. It is a dentist office near the beach here in Jacksonville Beach. So we're going to go ahead and start layering up each individual layer, giving us enough room for the interior design firm to go ahead and put in the moss. Pretty simple. I'm just going to cut a bunch of these out and then layer them on top of each other, installing them all with glue and brads. Then time to sand. Well, I realize it's not the easiest thing to do. And the sander's bulky, and this thing has a lot of nooks and crannies to get into. You might as well play with it a little bit. I'll speed it up for you. Anyway, I found that using one of these sanding sponges works really well. I actually built this sanding sponge myself with some sandpaper I cut on the laser, and then I put it all into kind of like a threaded rod or whatever, and it worked pretty good. But you can't beat old hand sanding. Some of this you just have to just grin and bear and just do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, with everything glued together and sanded, it's now time for some assembly. Of course, I'm using a drill bit to drill right through the center of this recess, and then I'm going to come back around the other side, and I'm going to countersink those holes. And I show these countersinks off quite a bit in a lot of videos. They're at Harbor Freight. Ask someone where the countersinks are, and they'll show you. Okay, with all the holes drilled and countersunk, it's now time to do some assembly. We're going to go ahead and take these screws up from underneath, kind of like that fat rain or sideways rain or even rain that came up from underneath. All that good stuff. I digress. Lieutenant Dan. Anyway, in fact, I'm going to tell you a little story. My wife and I, when we text each other that we want ice cream, we just send an emoji of Lieutenant Dan. Hopefully you get the reference. Anyway, back to the build. You can see these rings are going together just the same way as before. Glue, brads, pretty easy, no problem. Wipe off the excess and go ahead and get it installed. Screw it back up from underneath as well. And now it's time to sand the entire thing and put a nice, comfortable round over using a really slick router plate. Pretty neat. A quick final sanding over the back and the sides, and then we're going to flip it over, and now I got to really start designing the letters for this thing. Check this out. I'm going to show you what might be the biggest workhorse in the shop. What in the world? My daughter, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this massive Nova 63 Thunder, how did those get in there? Fancy glue organizers, link in the description. Okay, I digress. Now, honestly, this project wouldn't be possible without the capability of that laser. It's pretty darn awesome. It's huge, it's powerful. It allows me to not only do all the production I need for this business, I'm going to give you guys a pretty extensive review on it here in the next month or two. But look at this. It allows me to do one-offs and commissions that I never thought was possible. I'm so thankful. And look at this bundle of fun, putting the entire piece back on the machine to somehow cut a recess for a French cleat. Yeah, you guys know French cleats, right? You know, the things that you put at an opposite 45-degree angle that are made from wood. Yeah, supposed to be made from wood. Okay. All right, we're going to install one in the back of this thing. Made from wood. Okay. If you think me saying made from wood pretty deliberately is on purpose, you'd be right. And if you know, you know. Leave a comment down below if you understand my frustration, if you will. All right, moving on from that, let's go ahead and get back into this project. You can see the other opposite cleat goes into that recess, and now it's time to actually take these letters and put them together with one of the coolest glues I've seen in a long time. Not sponsored, but it's Titebond like Speed Set, which basically it has a hold that you can't get apart in about a minute. You put these pieces together, and a minute goes by, maybe even less, and they're pretty much together, like almost like a CA glue. Not that fast, but for PVA glue, for regular wood glue, it's awesome to do stuff like this. So give yourself a little bit of a heads up and buy yourself some. You never know when you're going to need some really fast setting PVA glue. As you can see, these layers of lettering take a bit of time. Of course, I sped it up, but this was the longest part of the project, actually, doing every single letter. There's 5 layers per letter. 2 are a little bit smaller than the other 3, but that's for the moss to kind of nestle in. And yeah, finally got that all done and put them on their own kind of risers because you don't want to shove too much moss around these letters. So that's why they're raised up a little bit. And here's the final installation of the letters into the surgery spot. And then we're going to go ahead and get this thing kind of put in place. We're going to line it all up and make sure everything looks good. And then I'm going to paint it. And I don't know if that was the best idea, although I did paint it to spec. That's what they wanted. They wanted kind of a white paint, which you're going to see. And did it work? Did it not? Well, there's a little something here at the end of the video you got to stick around for that happened. And yeah, just watch. This process of putting it all back together correctly was a little bit more daunting than I realized. And then I realized there's this saying out there, right? If it looks straight, it's straight. I obsessed over getting measurements right, but the measurements didn't look right, even though they were perfect. So then I just kind of backed it up by eye, and it looked great. So that's what I did. I'm using this tape to kind of hold these pieces down, and I'm making some measurements for up underneath. That way I can screw the lettering back into the base. No glue needed, just in case I need to take these letters out. Again, just doing this in an abundance of caution. Okay, now that I got this thing flipped over, everything is securely put in place, and it's looking really good. I'm really curious to see how it's going to look with all the moss in it. We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I mean, and for sense of scale, I'm 6'1", and a big boy, and yeah, there's the sign. So it looks pretty nice. We're going to spin it around on a Lazy Susan to make my life just that much easier while doing all of this painting. It's a little mesmerizing, don't you think? So my first step is to go ahead and take a paintbrush and paint the sides. That's the idea. This goes relatively quickly. And of course, like any plywood, as good as this stuff is, there's 1 or 2 voids I need to worry about. And also, there's another issue with me not really assembling it perfectly together. I mean, yeah, the CNC cut it perfectly, but I, in my haste, I guess, while I was glue and bradding it together, there was some overlap. So we sanded it as best we could, but to get everything really nice and smooth, we're going to put some joint compound on it and sand that down as well. Again, this Lazy Susan painting technique really does make your life easy if you are painting something that you can actually move. Instead of you moving around it, move the piece. Definitely the way to go. And by this point, the sides are looking okay, and I realize instead of just maybe using a paintbrush again, I'm going to try something a little different. After a little bit of sanding, we're going to go ahead and take a tack cloth and wipe all that off. And then I'm just using a folded up paper towel to apply the rest of the paint. I know that sounds crazy, but it worked. And it worked well. What do you think? So although I wasn't able to be there at the interior designs place when they did the moss, the installation of it, I did get to go back and actually film what it looks like in its entirety. And honestly, it's cooler than I thought. It's different than I thought. I thought it was going to look a little bit more, I don't know, like not as organic as it is. But this stuff is, I will confirm, is real moss. It's just dried out, completely preserved, and then they use some dyes to make it a couple different colors, maybe enrich the green. Really cool effect, if you ask me. And quite frankly, it does have a really cool organic appeal. It almost looks like sponge-like material in there. When you get down into it, it kind of feels like I'm in the rainforest. Pretty awesome. Now, all that being said, all this process that we've done looks great. The client has to be happy with it, right? I mean, there's no way that we would do all this work and something were to... And guess what? The customer didn't like it. I don't know, something about the white color, but it's now time to go and remake the entire build. This time out of Duraply, which is a better situation. It's an outdoor rated plywood. It has a darker color. Hi. And yes, hello. Hi. We're gonna rebuild it now. Let's start the process. So no harm, no foul. Honestly, sometimes an idea in your head looks a little different when you finally get it manifested in front of you. So that's what happened there. The painted white with the moss just looked not as organic as they thought. So we're using a natural wood here color. So basically the grain of the wood that we're trying to match on the lettering is going to be the same on the facade of the actual sign. You can see here, I've built up the same wave sign with that Duraply. And then the 1/4-inch plywood I've been using is going to go on the face. Now this is going to match up with the lettering as well, which gives a bit better aesthetic. And that's what they were going for. And I can't blame them. It looks great. I hung it on my wall outside just to see what it looks like. It looks great. No footage of the moss. We did that earlier, and here we go. So that actually turned out pretty good. You know, you go to school on the first one, and I sure did. The second one was much easier to do. Of course, since I already had it. This little girl. And secondly, I just want to thank you all for being here and watching. If you'd like any more information on this powerhouse that I use to run this business and or this bad boy, check the link in the description. Also, there'll be links in the description to all the Garnica plywood that I'm using these days, and it has been a wonderful experience using such a great quality plywood. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Bye.